car dance.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I am your host, Gavin, and we are back for another week of Suns basketball. Everyone's in a much better mood after the last week or so. We're all up and about. We're all happy. There probably won't be a lot of fighting today. Who knows? Boyd's a fucking idiot, so anything could happen. And while I'm talking about Boyd being a fucking idiot, it is everyone's favorite piece of shit, Boyd. How are you, my friend?
Very well, mate. How are you? I'm fucking great. We're streaking again. We're on it, mate. Yeah. No, it's been a good week of Suns basketball, mate, with a little bit of news that we got, and there might be a little bit more to come as well.
And of course, our favourite Aussie in Singapore, just enjoying the rainy season over there at the moment. I'm assuming, Nate. So enjoying the rainy season.
It is still friggin' raining. It hasn't stopped since I got back from Korea. So it's been raining for like 2 weeks nonstop.
Well, how have you been anyway, mate? How's the week been? Anything exciting happening in your world around the Phoenix Suns?
Well, outside the Phoenix Suns, like I said, I've been in Korea for the week, and I was not ready for -4 every day. And it's been 2.5 years since I've even really felt anything below 10. So that was interesting. And then we get I wake up one morning.
Below A10? Below A10 or just 10?
No, I went to Melbourne last August. So.
Oh, okay. So you would have found plenty under 10 when it was when you were in Melbourne.
Yeah, not that much. But, it wasn't fucking -4. Yeah, I wake up one morning and I see Boyd and Suns Geek talking about the trade. I'm like, what happened while I was asleep? So I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yes, we certainly will. And, well, that's a really nice segue. So why not? Let's just use that. Boyd, of course, this week, and you were doing the rounds on Suns Podcast World about the acquisition of one Nick Richards, where we received Nick Richards and Denver's 2025 or 2026 second-round pick, and gave up Josh Okogie and 3 of our own second-round picks. What were your thoughts, my friend, just in case those who are watching the Aussie Suns Fans didn't get a chance to watch anyone else?
Mate, look,
By the way, before you do talk, you're not allowed to use today's game as an example in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking about like before today happened.
Mate, well, what I said on that pod was, mate, I think it was a real astute move, and I thought it was going to inject energy into this lineup and give us as far as the center standpoint goes, our only athletic above the rim type of a player that can add some much needed rim defense, and just the ability to get loud, get hype this team up. Give us a highlight reel from time to time. Give us some physicality. So, yeah, look, and I won't reference today's game at all, but I don't think that we're going to be disappointed when we do eventually play the Pistons and talk about that game.
Nate, what were your thoughts?
Look, last week we brought it up, and I was against Nurk for Nick Richards in a direct trade. And then when I saw it was Okogie, I figured, well, all the chatter was the same. That's why we signed him to the contract. He's been playing really well, so why not get off at his peak value? The second round picks, whatever. We've already made the most of our draft capital very well last year. So Nick Richards for JO, I think, yeah, okay. If we're going to go and deplete our center lineup inevitably, that's a good way to start by making sure we know we've got someone that can actually start. And I mean, even before today's game, because we're not allowed to talk about today's game yet, he always performed better as a starter. So to see him do what he did off the bench without talking about it,
Oh my God.
I think for Jo, it's a great trade, but now it just means I'm going to have to cry when Nurk goes because writing's on the wall. But I do like the idea that Richards and Plumlee are back together because at least there's some familiarity in the room.
Just on that, my man, the Nurk thing, right? This is DeAndre all over again. Nurk's out the door, mate. He doesn't care anymore. He's not putting it up. He's never coming back to give us decent minutes for the Phoenix Suns.
That doesn't mean I have to move straight onto the hate train. Okay.
I think you do. I think it's time. Let's Boyd convince Nate that he needs to move on to the hate train for Nurk right now.
Right now?
Yeah,
no,
right now.
I'm not convincing him to hate Nurk. I don't hate Nurk. I don't hate Nurk.
That's not what you said to me. That's not what you said to me, too.
Fuck off, it isn't. Like, he's making $19 million to sit on his clacker at home. Fucking God bless. I'm jealous of that.
Well, that was the other thing, too. Nick Richards' contract's fucking great. Was it 5 years, $5 million a year for 3 years? Shit.
You got this season.
I think it's 2. This season, next season. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a saving from a salary cap point of view. We're heading in the right direction there. I think Ishbia saved about $20 million off the back of this trade. So good for Matt. He can probably take his kids out for dinner tonight.
What he brings in with Nurk. That's,
Yeah, I've got a very, very strong feeling that Nurk might end up stretched and waived next year. It doesn't seem like anybody really wants Nurk. So
no,
people said that about Valanciunas for a long time too.
I hate the idea of stretching and waiving players, especially on that type of. I fucking hate it, Gavin. You mentioned.
Yeah, well, it won't be during this season. It won't be until he's in at the end of his contract, right?
Yeah, I still don't like it, mate. It's dead money. It's dead money that can't be moved, can't be fucking. Nothing can be done.
I didn't say it was my preferred fucking mode of transport. I just said that that's probably the likelihood. Why are you so angry today at me?
It's a nice expiring to trade. Let's just leave it at that, please.
Right. It's a very nice expiring to trade. Yeah, pay your internet bill, boy.
Pay your internet bill, man.
Jesus Christ. Got to sit there looking at you. It looks what you look like on the screen at the moment is that you're about to like consume something round and cylindrical.
Phallic even.
All right, so let's talk about the impact of Nick Richards today. What were your thoughts off the back of the game there, Boyd, of good old Nick the Dick?
Mate, am I still freezing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. We can hear you fine. You're just.
Are we coining that guy, Nick the Dick?
Nick, I like Nick the Dick.
Big Dick.
Let's coin it. Let's coin it. That's our drop. Even if we don't have a visual drop, that's our drop for him now.
Knick knack, patty whack. Give the fucking Detroit Pistons a bone. Hey, his activity? This guy fucking has had one session with our training staff. I think the offensive and the defensive training staff got with him for one session, and that was and this is what we fucking got, man. We got a double. We got the energy. Looks like they've been playing together for years. I'm scared of what this potentially could look like in once there is some real chemistry there. What I really liked is that there was multiple plays today where Big Dick Nick set multiple screens for multiple players, and he's just
pushed a couple over.
He's that ball of energy that doesn't fucking stop. He's our Energizer Bunny, and there was a couple of little chinks in the armor, so to speak. There was a couple of entry passes some bounce passes that went astray today. But given it's the first time playing basketball together, it was fucking. The rest of them looked real nice, and offensive rebounding, fucking yes. Dunking straight up afterwards. This is what we wanted fucking DA to be, man. This is what we wanted DA to be. And instead we got a number one pick and a fucking belly flop in the middle that was too scared to fucking do anything. This guy is just straight up. There's no hesitation. He gets that fucking ball. As soon as it touches his fingertips, he's straight up stuffing that cunt in the ring. It's fucking beautiful, man. It's what we need. And I cannot wait until Tuesday our time for the next game.
That was very graphic, and you're going to upset poor old Joel if you start talking about DA not performing to where his expectations were. Nate, what were your thoughts on the effort from Nick the Dick today?
Look, I was really curious whether he'd start or what it'd look like. He didn't start, but he did get essentially starters minutes at the end of it as everything fell into place. I thought watching him, there was a few lapses or a lot of lapses on the transitional side where he looked a little lost. But, I mean, first game, you've got to be expecting that. So I wasn't judgmental of it. It was just it stood out a few times where he didn't get back or he was standing where seemingly a centre shouldn't be standing while the offense is going on. But all in all, I mean, you can't argue with the stats. You can't argue with the impact. And I just love seeing beat a few people around. You know, that when he's just stand there and just pushes a guy over for no reason. I'm thinking, fucking great. We need some more of that.
Yeah, it was great to see. Look, the energy was there, right? He came off the bench behind Plumlee. I noticed, again, I'm going to go back to what I said last time. Suns Twitter is going to murderlise this bloke if he has a bad game. Like today when I basically read through Suns Twitter while Nick Richards was playing great basketball and was positive in the plus minus, and everyone going, oh, this is great. We've got a center who's positive in plus minus. When was the last time this happened? And if you go back over the last month of games, we've pretty much had a center in positive plus minus every single game we played. So I'm waiting for that. I don't want it. I don't want to see it happen. If this is the Nick Richards that we can have every night at 28 to 32 minutes, I'll be more than pleased. His hustle was there. As you said, he was on the boards. He was positive with his approach towards rebounding. His screen setting, I think it'll be better as the team gets to play a little bit more together. I don't know. Boyd, you brought up that his screens were fantastic. I thought they were a bit dodgy at the start of the game.
They weren't probably as hard and effective as I think as opposed to what they traditionally are. But what I was saying is that the effort was there in the sense that there was on the same play. There was multiple times he was swinging straight back out and setting a screen, running. Someone else gets it. He's up there setting an off-ball screen. He just looked very active in that department. Can they be?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and that's what I'm trying to say. I think the screening will get more effective the more time he's. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The dude just jumped off a plane. He didn't even have a practice session with the team. So that's going to become more effective when he understands which direction Booker and Duran and these guys go.
Question for you guys:
in practice and in games. Like, can I finish what I was going to say? And then
I thought you were at the end.
You're
mate.
Fucking Jesus Christ! Sorry,
my timing
ask your
off,
question. You've ruined my night. Go ask the question.
No, my question was: did you guys feel there was a bit more respect given to Nick Richards' inside game, and it freed up a little bit for the likes of Booker and KD, or were they just fucking burning cunts and getting to their spots extremely well? I think that element of the offense looked better as well, as in the creating space wise. It's just the game looked a lot easier. I just think Book and KD were burning cunts. Well, they were, but look, just watch that. Just watch that space. Watch that space, because I think that he.
Do you know where I think
a lot of attention.
So what came out of the game for me today is I think that we're going to see a lot more efficient or probably actively involved Tyus Jones. Nick Richards is perfectly set up in a pick and roll game with Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
So when we talk about lobs at the basket and athleticism at the basket, I think we're going to see a lot more 10-plus assist games from Tyus Jones if he continues to start with 15 to 20-point Nick Richards games off the back of Tyus Jones setups. That's what I saw out of today's game that
really
I think will grow.
That really looked as advertised. As Tyus Jones was supposed to be implemented in this offense, that looked like finally we've just got that piece that just sort of links in well with that point guard. So yeah, no, I agree.
This part I do agree with though. Rim space for the perimeter players was cleared by him too. So he did cut off on any help defenders, which I think we've really struggled with over the course of this year. When Durant and Booker have gone to the basket, they've generally got help defenders that they need to come past or that get past our centers that we've had in the team and are able to provide help defense at the rim, where Nick Richards cleared that path today, which I'm excited to see moving forward.
So you're all for Nick Richards now, mate? You've been a negative Nelly on the topic.
I was not. I was always for Nick Richards. What I said was Suns Twitter will burn the joint. They will burn the joint to the ground if Nick Richards. Stop cutting me off, bitch. If Nick Richards doesn't come out and become a starting caliber center, Suns Twitter will tear him to the ground because we traded Josh Okogie for him. And Josh Okogie is a fan favorite. And I thought that he would cop it. Now, don't get me wrong. The dude's played one game of basketball. So I'm still going to temper my expectations around what it is that he can deliver. And as I said on the pod last week, Boyd, I am more than happy to be wrong about the fact that he won't be able to deliver that on a night-to-night basis. But I think that he's going to have games where he struggles.
Hey, look, I heard someone else say that they think that he's going to get some negative spin because of the Josh Okogie thing. I don't think he does. Josh Okogie was not playing fucking basketball for us.
It doesn't matter.
Josh Okogie was a minimum signing year
after year. That's your opinion. That's your opinion, not based off the history.
He wasn't DeAndre Ayton and had the weight of a fucking number one.
Okay.
Draft.
All right then. Let's touch on Tumani Kamara then, who never even played a single second of fucking Suns basketball. But,
are you talking about
Suns?
Are you talking about
Summer
League?
Hold on. But Suns Twitter think that James Jones made the most horrific mistake of all time because we traded Tumani Kamara as part of the DeAndre Ayton deal. That is the type of shit I'm talking about.
You're talking about Joel. There's three of them that just won't fucking stop about that shit.
There's more than that, but yes, you're right. I don't disagree with you, and I think your opinion's right. And personally, I want to see Nick Richards succeed. I think he can succeed in that center role in this team because he doesn't have the level of ego of a Yusuf Nurkic who thinks he is Dame's sidekick still, where he's not. He's got to play a role. Nick Richards will just come in and play a role because he wants to start in a team that's winning. And it's not going to hurt him as much to play that role. He's going to be more than happy to have a game where he has 6 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
And not get the shot opportunities. Where Nurkic, he wants his double-double every game, every single game he plays. So what I'm saying, though, is if he has that 6-point game and he's 3 from 14, all of a sudden, and we lose, and we're struggling on defense, which we always do, we are going to see people in the Suns fandom world tear that dude to the ground and go, if Okogie was there, we would have at least seen hustle on the defensive end. Am I wrong? It might not be you, boy.
No.
I know you don't have to tell me that they're playing two completely different positions. I'm with you. What I'm saying is it could turn pretty quickly.
Okay, our fan base can turn pretty quickly. Okay, I'll agree with you on that, but I think that the gravity of the two different players that we're talking about here with Josh and
do you want to know what I like about what you're saying? You're using common sense. Suns fans on Twitter and Facebook don't use common sense.
Okay, mate. Okay, buddy.
You're good with that?
I'm good with that.
All right. I've got another question for you two gentlemen. Are we
Have
done?
you
I can't even fucking remember what your last one was.
Oh yeah,
Nate
Nate.
talk-
You talked. Nate talked about it, about Nick.
He
But
got up
Nate,
and walked off.
talk to me about Nick.
Fuck this,
Talk
I'm
to me
going to
about-
get a drink.
Talk to me about Nick the Dick, Nate.
No, I already spoke about that. You had a question though, and then Boyd did his thing, and then you guys fought
I
each
thought
other
you'd
for
already
fucking
spoken
10 minutes.
about it.
I just
Such
can't
a
remember what your
buzz,
last fucking question was.
All right, Devin Booker. Let's roll into the Armani mode. Not only last week we spoke about is Book back. Now I'm going to ask, is Armani mode back?
Can I go first? Because
Yes, go.
to get some things out before Boyd fucking ruins the pod completely.
Yes, go.
Awesome. So obviously you're talking about the 5 straight 30-point games. Yes, he's pulled his finger out his back. Can you bring up Juan Carlos's comment earlier? You flashed it up momentarily. He was talking about Booker and Beal, and he made mention there that Booker came back into his own after Beal wasn't there. So Beal's not playing or playing from the bench seems to bring back the old school killer that we love. Where I'm heading with that is, if that's true, what happens if we trade Beal for Butler, and then Butler comes back in? Does Booker then revert out of this killer book that we're seeing, the straight 30s for 5 games? Does he then revert back to where he was with Beal on the court if they just swap him out with Butler?
Yeah, you want me to go, Gav?
You can respond to that one if you like,
Yeah.
Boyd.
No, it's a completely different thing. Again, reason being is Book and Beal are a mirror match type thing. They're overlapping, right? And that's why it's looking so good with Beal in the second unit, because there's less of that overlap, right? So, but Jimmy Butler playing isn't going to have the same issue as Beal playing with Book. Reason being is he's a tone setter defensively. And he's also another guy that hasn't always been a big shot taker. He can lay it on when needed, but he's more inclined to pick a game here and there when it's actually needed, rather than I need it. You know what I mean? So yeah, he is a guy. He can fill it. He can stuff a stat sheet. But I just think that he's more of a team playing vet, if you will, and he will affect the game in different ways. Less overlap.
Yeah, I'll take that. I do tend to think
yeah, go, no.
Well, Booker made after the game with the post-game interview on the court. Obviously, they were talking to him about Nick Richards, and he did make a comment that he's straight off the plane, and then they were back and forthing over the stats because they couldn't get whether it was 21 points, 11 boards, 12 boards. He's just like, whatever. It was, I can't remember the exact words, but it was essentially saying there's a fresh injection of blood in the team, and the team were loving it. And Booker's really good with interviews, especially when he's happy and they've got a W. But I actually tend to believe him too. I genuinely think that whole injection of the new player in the team has maybe switched a gear. So maybe that works for Book as well. And he continues in this 30-plus games win streak.
Are you still there, Boyd? You're frozen again, so I just want to make sure you're still
It's all right. Jump in and get in while you can, man.
I don't know if he is still there.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, mate. You're just frozen on the screen. Well, okay, so I deliberately avoided the Butler talk over the last couple of weeks, but let's get into it. It's getting into the last 2 weeks. There's still plenty of rumors there floating around. Number one, just trying to keep it as quick as possible, I guess. Nate, do you think the trade will happen with Butler and Beal?
A trade has to happen from Miami's point of view. They want him out. They're done. I mean, he got suspended for the whole trade stuff, and then he comes back and he's off suspension, but he's still not playing. He played. He
played yesterday.
He did, because he missed another 2 games after he was meant to be back from suspension, right? And then
no, maybe 1, I think. But okay. No, he's back. He's back and playing.
Look at it like Nurk and Beal. They're out. They've got illnesses, which none of us believe are real.
No, Bill did his ankle, man. And he legitimately did his ankle pretty badly 2 games ago.
We believe that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's not, Nate. Let's not believe it.
Fine. At the end of the day, do I think it'll happen? I think Butler goes somewhere. He does not finish the season in Miami. There's not a great deal of teams that can make the trade work. I don't think they'll be too concerned about where he wants to go. I mean, we've got something to offer and something they can clear out if Bill gives up his no trade clause.
So once again, Nate, do you think the trade will happen between Bill and Butler?
I mean, if I'm Paddy in Miami, I wouldn't do it because I don't see any value in bringing Bill in.
Nate, do you think that the trade between Bill and Butler will happen? Do you think the
Your
trade
opinion,
between
mate.
Bill and Butler will happen?
Personally,
Get off the fucking fence and answer the goddamn fucking question.
Nate.
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with no. I think they're going to ship him off somewhere fucking like a hellhole of Minnesota or, like not that he wants to go back there, but yeah, I think they're just going to fuck him. I really do.
Okay, so you don't think it'll happen. Suns Fever. Steve doesn't think it'll happen. Suns Fever doesn't think it'll happen. Boyd, do you think it'll happen?
I'm just going to say yes. It's going to happen. Give me all the Jimmy Butler. Give me Toronto because they're keen to offload a whole fuckload of expiring contracts. Give me Toronto in there. Give me Milwaukee in there. Give me a 4-5 team trade. I don't care how difficult it is. We went out and got Matt Tellem from, was it Brooklyn or wherever the fuck it was, the best fucking cap sheet spinner in the entire comp. We can fucking do something. We can do something. So yeah, I'm gonna be positive and think that we do it. And but I'm also in that same breath. Now I'm thinking about Bradley Beal being gone and how good it's looked with him coming off of the bench, and I'm a little bit sad as well.
I agree. I think
Lasers echoed exactly what I said.
I think it will happen. Nate. So actually, we'll go to Boyd because he just touched on it.
Ooh.
So the question is, with Bill now coming off the bench and how he's performed over the last couple of weeks, forget the fact that he's out with the ankle injury at the moment, does that change your opinion? And if not, what's that point of difference you see Jimmy Butler bringing into this team?
So your question is, what the point of difference is between Beal and Butler
Right.
on this current
Question one is, has your opinion changed now that Bradley Beal's role's changed? And number two, if it hasn't or if you still want the trade to go ahead, what is the point of difference that Butler brings to this team?
Oh yeah, okay. So so my opinion of the Beal fit on this squad as it stands has changed since Beal's gone to the bench. For all the reasons that I spoke to earlier about the overlapping of skill sets. However, Jimmy Butler is just that much more of a better fit, really. When you look at our struggles now, Nick Richards was a move around the fringes. When you step back and look at it, now that's a step in the right direction. But if you want our expectations of a championship to go back to what they were prior to this fucking season starting, you need something more from the entire group. You need someone that's going to set the tone in the ways of high effort, energy, accountability, and it comes from a guy like it doesn't come from Beal. Is too nice. He's too much of a nice guy, whereas Jimmy Butler's like, well, he can't. You fucking going to get back on defense? You're going to get the fuck back on defense? I'll see you in the fucking locker room, cunt. He will hold these cunts to the sword. So yeah, no, I think that's something that this team needs, that mongrel, that little bit of arsehole about him. And I think Jimmy brings it and he instills it in others.
Nate, same question.
I like the positional correction so that I just think it kind of fixes our starting five by way of, not that I'm putting down Ryan Dunn's effort and growth, but it does fix that traditional. We then have the traditional point guard, traditional shooting guard, traditional small forward, traditional power forward, and a new center. So I like that we're going out with what would be a consistent, well-positioned starting five. That's my favorite part of considering Jimmy Butler.
That, once again, did not answer either of my questions.
Mate, it's not me fucking up this week. It's you. You're upsetting Gavin.
Number one, has your opinion changed with Beal coming off the bench? And number two, what's his point of difference? Jimmy Butler's.
Well, that answers the second part of your question. The point of difference is the positional fit.
Give me the Beal piece.
Well, I've already said in pods week after week that I wanted to see him coming off the bench because it changes exactly the reason I answered the second part of your question. What would I rather? I mean, there was some comments that I think it was Kip that said he's sick of seeing rotational players like coming in and coming out, and he just wants to firm up a team and see it work itself out. So for Beal coming off the bench, I think that's the answer to that question. If we look at the difference, the point of difference with Butler is it goes to my positional fit for a starting five. So, I mean, either way, if the team can essentially pull their finger out, if he stays, I think we win either way.
Right. Look, I'm still going to plant my flag on the hill that Bradley Beal should be starting. We shouldn't be starting Tyus Jones. He should be coming off the bench. We can. I know everybody jumped up and down last year about we needed a point guard because look at our turnovers. Our turnovers haven't been fixed this year with a point guard on the floor. So, and Tyus Jones just hasn't had enough of an impact on the team as an overall. I would rather see Tyus coming off the bench. I think he's better suited to the second unit. And I think that Beal would be more than capable of playing with the first unit, particularly now because Beal gets downhill much better than what Tyus does. And we need somebody in control with the ball who actually gets downhill. That's when we play our best basketball. Especially with a rim runner like Nick Richards coming into the team. I think that there's plenty of upside there to throw Beal out on the floor. I still think the trade happens. I still think that Jimmy Butler ends up in Phoenix. Now, I think the main point of difference from my perspective, Boyd, isn't the fact that he'll come in and hold people to standards. I think he'll do that or try to do that, but I don't think that'll change the mindset or the attitudes of our players. The main difference of what Jimmy Butler brings to this team is he brings a player that is willing to get his hands dirty. And I think Nick Richards showed today that a center and a small forward that can go in and bang bodies on the inside defensively, bang bodies on the boards, all of that type of stuff, that I'll get down and dirty while no one else will, is what this team needs. It's not holding others to account. It is somebody who is willing to roll up the sleeves and actually put in the dirty work. Ryan Dunn does it, but it doesn't overly boost anybody else on the floor. It just makes us as spectators and fans of the Suns go, how good is Ryan Dunn? We drafted this guy at 28. Fuck you, everyone else. He's one of the top 5 players, rookies this year. What a fantastic thing we've got with Ryan Dunn. You watch Jimmy Butler go out there and go, you know what? For the next 5 minutes, Ryan, I love what you're doing, but I'm going to go fucking one-on-one with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that motherfucker won't even touch the ball. And not only that, I'm going to grind him into the dirt. And that will lift the entire team a different way. So that's what I see.
I know you're dying on that hill of Tyus being the wrong guy in the starting lineup. It should be Bradley Beal, but you also said at the start of the show that the Tyus Nick Richards combo is having someone like Nick Richards at that 5 position.
We'll get more out of him. Yep.
Yeah.
And it will. But you know they're both. You know that how basketball works, right? Just because somebody, just because someone comes off the bench, it doesn't mean that they don't play with any of the starters.
Yeah, I get that.
You know that, right? Okay. I just wanted to clarify because I'm not sure that everyone does actually get that, because as soon as you say somebody's gone to the bench, all they're doing is playing with the bench unit. That's not true. There's a mix-up. Everybody's going to play at different times, and I still think that will open Tyus up a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Whether he starts or he doesn't.
Anywho, mate. I'm not gonna bag on you for your wrong opinions, mate. That's right.
Well,
you can die on that hill. We'll have a nice service, a funeral. We'll sing songs and drink beer, and
can great. Opinion even be wrong by definition?
No, it can't. It's just Boyd's an idiot. That's why he's everyone's favourite piece of shit, and he's been frozen on this same thing for 15 minutes, which looks like he's got KD well and truly inserted inside him. Are we back, Nate? Did the Nick Richards trade? After today's game, are we fixed?
It's still too soon, mate. 2 wins against Washington and Detroit. It's hard to say. I mean, Washington haven't won a game since their first game of 2025. Everything else was lost. I think it's 7 straight losses or whatever it is. Detroit have actually been pretty good. I think Detroit is 7-3 for January. So maybe we give them a little bit more credit, even though we just scraped out the win. I don't think we've seen enough to say we're back, but it's enough to not be having a pity party every game. It's enough for Voida to change back to bright side of the sun and not dark side of the sun.
I think they're now getting better side of the sun or something, getting brighter side of the sun at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I think on that one. Not back, but we're getting there.
Boyd.
Yes, mate.
Are we back?
Well, I think I am. I can see I'm frozen, but I can't fucking help that, mate.
I'm talking about whether the Phoenix Suns are back, Boyd. It's not always about you.
You could turn your screen off and make everyone happy. Yeah.
Oh.
And follow it by your mic.
Hey, we are back. We are back, baby. We are streaking.
You're a fucking idiot.
It's chip season. We're getting it. Suns are stacked. The league is fucked. We are fucking taking. We're not losing another game for the rest of the season. We're here, baby.
I love it. I love that you're back too. We've missed this Boyd. It's our favourite Boyd. We've missed him. Welcome back, my friend. No, we're not back. We're not back yet. Let's see what rolls out. I still think that changes happen before the trade period is out. I'm really interested to see what those changes look like, and I'm interested to see how we go. Look, we've still got a few games of this road trip, which is a really, really important road trip with the layout of the remainder of the season. So, really, we have to be able to perform. We've got a tough game coming up. Our next one,
that's going to be the tell,
against one of the best teams in the competition right now, and then a finish off against the Nets, who have nobody left. They've basically traded everyone. Hopefully, they trade Cam Johnson to somewhere that he can find his soul by the time we play them, and then back home. But I'll be really interested to see how sort of the next 5 to 7 games go, and then I'll be more than happy to see how we are after those games. Before we move on to that section of the upcoming games for this week, I'm going to throw it back open to Ask the Aussies today. So we already have a couple of questions that I've got here. Anyone's got any questions for the Australians? It could be about the Suns, NBA, or just life in general. throw us the questions. We'll answer them towards the back end of the pod. Boyd,
Hello.
how's this week look for the Phoenix Suns? Before we pod again next week, we have the Cavs in Cleveland on Tuesday. We've got Brooklyn in Brooklyn on Thursday. And then we have Washington at home on Sunday.
Oh,
How do you see those 3 games?
Wow. So, Washington, we do it right. 100%. We do what we should have done last game correctly, especially with Big Nick back in the mix. And he's starting. He's starting next game, by the way. You heard it here first. Boyd sauce. All the sauce from Boyd. All the sauce. I have all the fucking sauces, man. I got some mustard, American
Not
mustard.
really that hot a take, though.
I got some Master Foods chili fucking sauce out there, some tomatoes, some barbecue. I got it all. I got the sauce. So he's starting next game against the Cavs. Today was a farewell to Mason. He's going to be buried further than Nurkic on the fucking bench. But hey, the Cavs is going to be our toughest matchup. And I think I'm glad that we didn't have a pushover team today. I'm glad we had Detroit, who are better than what their record would tell us, because they've actually been.
Well, they're over 500, aren't they?
They are. So they've actually
had to go more than ours.
They've had to go on a significant run and beat some good teams to get to that. Leading up to this game, where we fucking belted them by 4 points. It was beautiful. And yeah, but I think that this is just the perfect game that we just needed to sharpen our teeth a little bit and take down the Cavaliers. Take down the cocky Cavaliers over there on the East Coast. So yeah, I think we've got it, and I think having a game under the belt with Big Dick Nick is exactly what we need leading into the Cavaliers. Brooklyn are a fucking shit show. They're trying to lose. Cam Johnson, I believe, is still out. So yeah, and he's pretty much their main guy. Didn't they got beat by 60 fucking points the other day? They're fucking out of here. So that's another good one for us, a confidence builder. So yeah, look here, I'm giving you 3 W's, mate.
Of course you are.
I wasn't expecting you to actually finish talking, man. Amazing. Nate.
Look, if you asked anyone outside of Suns land, they would probably say 2-1. Statistically speaking, it looks like a 2-1 week for us. What we want to look at is the Cavs game, and even if it's a loss, if it's competitive, if we're seeing all the right things click and we still lose, at least that gives us something to learn from should we get to the finals and see them there. So I'll sit with 2-1, and let's just look at the Cavs game for growth.
I am going to go 2-1 as well. I think we dropped to the Cavs. They're coming off a pretty heavy loss. They've been really, really good at home, so that'll be tough. But I can't see how we, in any way, shape, or form. We might have to cancel this podcast if they lose to Washington or Brooklyn.
Fuck that.
That's how bad that could be. Boyd, I know you're going to let me down here, but let's give it a go. Give us your stat of the week.
My stat of the week. Okay, so I've been looking hard at the January numbers, and the January numbers versus the December numbers, because, as we all know, at the start of the month, or around about the start of the month, is when we've reinvented our lineup and start benching Bradley Beal, and our overall effective field goal percentage has gone up by just a smidgen over 5%, from 55 average to 60%. Hence meaning that it is helping our offense tremendously. Interesting thing is that we're shooting a lot less. Again, we've been trending downwards on that 3-point attempt rate. And it's still going down, but our overall field goal percentage is up to 50% for the month of January versus, I believe it was about 47, 48%. So a slight tick up overall on field goal percentage, but overall, the effective field goal, and that's a cumulative stat of all your shots and their percentages. But yeah, up 5%, EFG, month to month after that sort of move. Well done, Mike Budenholzer. Your thoughts on that? Do you think that we could have got that same bump up in effective field goal percentage, Gavin, if it was a Tyus to the bench and Bradley Beal staying in that starting unit?
Yes. Short answer.
Okay. Nate?
I have no substat this week.
No, he was asking whether or not you think that our effective field goal percentage would have still gone up if Beal was starting.
I mean, I don't listen to the guy, and no.
You shit on me, Nate. Thanks, mate. I used to shit on your stat of the week. You don't shit on
that was a bit nasty. That was a bit nasty considering.
After the fucking grievance I got last week for my Substat, which I was actually really interested in seeing how it all worked out with the bang for buck segment. I mean, fuck you. I'm not interested.
He's finally bought a stat to his own segment, and you're being nasty to him, mate.
Fuck the cunt.
Yeah, so we've done stat of the week 6 times, and boys, that's the second time he's bought a stat. It's basically been the Nate stat of the week. Let's be honest.
He has to reach into his ass for that one.
Gents, who was the player of the week last week? Boyd.
Devin Booker. And he'll be the player of the Western Conference Player of the Month.
Nate.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. But A, we're all going to say Book this week. He has to be. And B, I actually think Boyd might be right. I think this little streak, it's put him in the conversation with Joker and Shea Gilgeous for 30-point streak runs. So I do think this can keep going. And I do think he could end up Player of the Month, Western Conference.
Well, I certainly think he has to be in the mix, right? And he's certainly the player of the week. We've been pretty solid. KD's played some pretty solid basketball, apart from his shitty ass turnovers, which
How
I
many
don't need to
turnovers
go on
did he get
another
today,
rant.
Gav?
I don't know. To be honest, I turned off after he had 2 in the first 3 minutes. It's Devin Booker. Gents, who has to pull their finger out?
Ooh.
Boyd.
Oh, fuck. I'm in such a good mood, man. Who needs to pull their finger out? Let me give it to... We paid a really short bench today.
Mate, if you need to think, I'll go. If I can, you can sit on your thumb and rotate.
Let me give it some thought.
Mate, Royce O'Neal needs to pull his fucking finger out.
Oh, man, he just come back from an injury.
I don't know. I'm like, I wanted to see the old Royce, and so far, each game he's played is half of what he used to contribute.
Dude.
I'm not seeing, just looking at the guy, I'm like, I'm not seeing. It's not a fuck that guy segment. It's just to pull your finger out. I want to see him contribute like he used to. I want to see him pick up the void that we got from the energy we got from Josh Okogie. Royce needs to bring that now. So he's my pull your finger out.
Jesus Christ.
And I love the guy. So it's not a shit on him. It's just, come on, man. You're better than this.
Boyd.
Well, the player that needs to pull their finger out is Mason Plumlee, if you ask me. And it's not from a standpoint that he's been given us less than what we're paying him that minimum for and what's been asked of him and what he's provided. He's just been a minimum center thrown in, over his head. He's been thrown in the deep end and he can't fucking stand in the deep end. But
how long has he been in the league for? He's not over his head.
He's fucking old, mate, and he's been asked to start on a team like this with this type of offense. He's not that guy anymore. Now, I think he needs to pull his finger out because there's a fucking storm coming for your starting spot currently, and his name's Nick fucking Richards. And then there's a follow-up. There's a bubble and squeak coming from Oso Iguodalo. So yeah, it's
Jesus Christ. We've got one bloke fucking destroying somebody for coming off an injury and another one destroying a rookie.
No. He's the second storm coming for the rest of Mason Plumlee's minutes. So first, yeah. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think Osso is going to be the third drop center. I think he'll be the second. I think Mason's going to be buried on the bench somewhere, or traded, maybe.
So he should. Let's be honest with this team. I think what's been discovered this year is that this team doesn't need a big, solid grind out type center, which is why I didn't want Valanciunas in the trade, because it's the same thing. Nurk, Plumlee, Valanciunas. We need those high energy, high impact, highly athletic type centers. Athletic like me. Athletic type centers. Athletic type centers. Nick Richards, immediate impact. Oso's look good all year. They're the type of player that I think fit this roster probably the best. So, look, I'm kind of with Boyd. I had Plumlee down as the guy that needs to pull his finger out, mainly because of just the lack of. I mean, look, I'm probably being a bit harsh because our team struggles to box out on defensive rebounds, and it kind of leaves Plumlee one out. But the amount of times he's in a one-on-one box out situation with his opponent and loses those rebounds and gives up offensive rebounds, it's just too much for me. Number 2 is KD. Stop trying to fucking initiate the defense. I'm going to bring you up every week for pulling your finger out, KD. Stop trying to initiate the defense. Get off the ball. The first half, all you did was try to initiate your own offense. The second half, you came off screens and hit jump shots. Oh, my goodness. You went 1 for fucking 9 in the first half, and in the second half, you lit them the fuck apart. Stop.
Bit of a typo there, Gav. Yes. Initiate his own offense, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, he should not be trying to initiate his own offense.
Okay, cool.
Let the other guys do it. Is that all right?
I agree with that too.
Jesus. All right. Has anyone got anyone in the chat? Do you have any questions for the Aussies? Please throw them in now. But gentlemen, before we get to that,
I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
Nate, who do you want to have a beer with this week? And what type of beverage would you like to have with them?
It would have to. I mean, it's an obvious pick, Nick the Dick. It would have to be a supersized beer at Dan Marley's. They've got plenty of nice little ales on tap. We could pick up something different, explore a few, and chat about his recent move from Charlotte to Phoenix. That's my beer with. It's an easy one. Might be a cop out, but I think it's valid. Welcome to the team.
Boyd.
It is 100% Big Dick Nick, 100%, and we're gonna smash some Forex bitters. We're gonna just the old Queensland, the Castlemaine brew.
Well, at least you went with heavies and not mids. That's good.
Yeah. And look, and same reasons as Nate just said. Like, fuck it. How much better? I want to ask him how much better these tandems, these this chemistry can get. Does he think? Like, how much did he learn on just in that one session, and how much does he think he can build on that? So, I'm gonna have a good chat with Nick.
I'm going to have a beer with Joel. I know he caught up with our friend. So says Jay Justin. I'm going to catch up with him. I'll probably buy him a no alcohol beer because Joel, pull your fucking head in on Twitter and stop being so shit to some people that have got a different opinion to you.
Hang on, is this beer with or fuck that guy?
No, beer with. I don't.
Gav likes to do that.
Guy,
he likes to do two fuck that guys.
Yeah, I like to combo it up.
Yeah.
I also want to have a beer with Nate, which I'm going to do in about 14 days.
Can't have two.
Oh shit, you're back.
Too bad, Nate.
When are you back in?
February, I told you.
Yeah, I know. I've got a new diary. What is it, February? All right, we'll chat after the pod.
We'll chat after the pod. Suns Fever wants to have a beer with Richardson and a cold Guinness extra shout.
Yuck.
Yeah, seriously, Guinness. Did either of you two get it?
I get it. It's fucking shit.
No, well, like that's my point, right? It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Why do people drink it?
There's a lot of chicks over here that drink this. I don't know why. You go into
It's
a
like
pub
road-
and you see women sitting around with Guinness. I'm like, why?
It's road tar. It's horrible. Anyway,
Fuck that guy.
Boyd, this week when you were just chilling out at home, working from home, tapping away on your computer, and the wife and kids were busting your balls, but you saw something, and it made you sit back and go, "Fuck that guy." Who was it that made you go, "Fuck that guy"?
Well, I've had a couple. Now, ultimately, it's Pat Riley for being a fucking trying to maintain his fucking, the toughest fucking front office personnel out there. He's Jimmy Butler can't fucking beat me. When the only real deal he's going to get is from Phoenix, and whatever we're willing to give. Yeah, so fuck off, Pat Riley. But today, Gavin, when you were denying to me in our private chat that you did not shit on Nick Richards as an acquisition before
I didn't
happened.
shit on it.
You did, man. When you asked me a couple
Prove
of
it.
pods ago,
I asked you to prove it. And you still haven't.
I'm going to go get the receipt. I'll get the snip from
You
the
go
pod.
get it.
A couple of pods
You
ago,
go get
you
it.
asked me if
I'll never see it. You'll
if Nick Richards would fix
it from here on in.
a lot of our problems, and you said, "Oh, he's fucking bricking. He bricked fucking 2 shots against us today."
Yeah, I said he airballed a fucking.
He's not going to fucking. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
So
Give me the receipts, man.
I'll go find it.
You've got fucking selective
It's
choice.
still Pat Riley. Chill
You
out,
got
man.
selective
Still
choice. Nate, who made you sit back this week and go, "Fuck that guy"?
To be honest, nobody. But as we move into the trade deadline, certain things become important. And my fuck that guy goes to the medical professional responsible for Bradley Beal. Now, some of this falls back onto Brad because he has some say in who does his treatment, who keeps him healthy, because he's never fucking healthy. He's always fucking injured. And what that does is either keep him off the court for us or ruin his trade value for someone else. So either way, we're fucking losing that because he's not LeBron James. He doesn't have a hyperbaric chamber. He doesn't have a medical team that keep him fit and playing basketball. So whoever it is that's got the responsibility for trying to keep him on the court, fuck that guy.
My fuck that guy goes to the Supreme Court judge that upheld the ruling that TikTok should be banned. Because one of my favorite things to do is to go on TikTok after a Suns win and watch the Phoenix Suns TikTok account do the corner 3 video. Have you guys seen the corner 3 video?
No, I don't.
Do you know Family Guy when Peter Griffin is playing against fucking whoever it is, and he's kicking his ass on one of the NBA games on Thingo, and he just runs over and keeps shooting corner 3. Go onto the Phoenix Suns TikTok and check out their corner 3 videos. They're hilarious, right? Whoever fucking banned TikTok so that I can no longer watch those until Donald Trump apparently comes back, because he's going to let TikTok just fucking do whatever they want. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I just fucking want to see the corner 3 videos. And it doesn't have the same effect because you guys clearly haven't seen them. And
for anyone that follows TikTok and all the other 13-year-old girls in the world, that's probably a valid fuck that guy.
Hey, can I apologise to you, Nate?
I mean, sure you can try.
You have to.
I'm not sure where it's going to start.
Well, I just noticed that you sort of noticed how I shat on your stat of the week thing last week, and I've done it a couple of times, and I actually noticed in the watch back me shitting on it. and I had a bit of a laugh, but I also went, I probably shouldn't have fucking done that. I'll probably do it again, but I felt a little bit, I don't know, guilty. But yeah, apologies, mate. Until
Shucks,
next
what a
time.
moment. This is the nicest moment, and it happened right on the hour. Look at that.
Why didn't you apologise for it when we brought it up like 8 minutes ago when we were talking about the fucking stat piece?
You were probably talking over me like usual, mate.
Oh, that's fucking, yeah. It's like that feels so disingenuous to me.
Oh, fuck, I'll take it.
Like absolute disgrace from you. All right, we got 3 questions so far in Ask the Aussies. So anyone else has got some, quickly throw them in there now. Ask the Aussie. Let's go. Number 1. Now, I don't know whether we're going to be able to answer this, mainly because I'm not sure that all 3 of us watch this stuff. But who's going to win the Australian Open, gents? Men's and women's?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's been on at the pub every time I go there. I'm like, oh, that's still going. And I heard that Djokovic got through to the semis or some shit. And that's the last I know of it. So, I mean, I was the only thing I was curious on was how Kyrgios and Djokovic would go on the doubles, and then Kyrgios fucking bowed out in his usual puffed up fucking weak ass way. So I kind of like, oh, fuck this shit. Yeah, let's go with Djokovic. There you go. He loves Australia.
What about the girls?
Is Kyrgios still in? Is he still in?
No, he went out first round, man.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. His fucking ego got in the way. He's got more ego than the fucking Suns. That cunt. Oh yeah, and that fucking Kokonakis fuck.
I think he's still in.
Yeah, he's a fucking jerk as well. Isn't he just a Kyrgios fucking fanboy? Cock. Anyway, yeah, I couldn't tell you who's still in, so I've got no answer for that one, mate.
And me neither. I got no idea. I still thought Djokovic was the best. I still thought Djokovic was the best player in the world, and then apparently he's not. So there you go. And then there's some girl who's pretty good, apparently. I don't know. I don't watch tennis. Number 2, what happens to Nurk, Boyd?
Mate, I think he's traded, and it's a nothing trade, and the player's waived, and he goes somewhere, and he tries to. They just have a fucking expiring that they want. It's either we get a nothing trade for him, or he just we revisit it in the off season and try and find a team that's chasing a $19 million expiring contract for the following.
Nate,
it's inevitable that he's gone, and fuck knows what we get for it. And unfortunately, packaging him and Bill together is probably too expensive to bring anything back.
I have no idea what's going to happen with Nurk. I think he sits on the end of our bench until the end of the year, and then we'll see what happens in the off-season. Question from Nacho, who is speaking? It was Boyd, because Boyd's been frozen the entire episode.
Yet again.
So if you can't see his mouth moving, it was Boyd. And we just have a question thrown in from Doug here. Dougie, thank you. I feel like if we can't trade Bill, we should see if we can get a good deal for Grayson. Do you agree, Boyd?
It's really late in the piece after making this first move. If we can't trade Bill, look, the only reason that I'm trading Grayson is if it's to garner some extra assets where we get to keep a couple, maybe. If it's a bunch of second round picks, if it's something to chuck into a deal to get Jimmy, with the Bill fucking trade. But yeah, no, if Bill doesn't go, keep Grayson.
Nate?
Yeah, straight up no. I fucking love Grayson Allen. I love him on this team. I'm watching him grow. He's having some amazing fucking performances. It's quite a friendly salary. I just don't want to see him go. I had to laugh watching today's game where he's playing the point in the last minute, or he's at the point in the last minute against Cade Cunningham. and Kay's just got his hand on his arm and just see him fucking swatting his arm away, like, fuck you, fucking stop touching me. And he just did it like 4 or 5 times before the ref had to sing. And then you just see Grayson's face where he can't help but laugh. He's like, what the fuck? So no, I'm not trading Grayson Allen.
I am not trading Grayson Allen either. I'd look at Royce O'Neal before I looked at Grayson Allen. If we're looking at strengthening,
If he doesn't pull his finger at you, mean
potential draft hand. Grayson's a bit younger. I just think he fits probably. Look, I think they both fit really well. I honestly, I'd keep them both.
Hey,
But
if
we have to trade one, I would say Royce.
If each of them were a couple of inches taller and had a little bit more length, we'd be fucking frothing over them like they'd be untradeable. So they're just a little bit on the smaller size. I think it's the reason that we contemplate trading them guys. But Doug Lehman, the guy who asked that question before, thank you, buddy. He's just recently followed us on Instagram, on the Instagram page, which we've just recently cracked 100 followers. Fucking, we cannot be stopped now on the Instagrams. It's all downhill from here. I think since we hit 100, I think we could be up around 107 now. But anyway, yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers for the follow.
And now I definitely know these two will not know this, but does Tony Storm win the title at Grand Slam Australia?
The fuck?
What the fuck is a Tony Storm?
And what is a Grand Slam Australia? Is that the Australian Open you're talking about, or is that a different competition?
It's wrestling.
Oh, fuck wrestling, man.
I thought you were
I'm
about
not
to say this
12
is a
anymore.
Pornhub reference or something. Fucking may as well be.
Shit.
All right. Would you trade Grayson for a first round pick?
No.
What year? What team?
That's not the question.
It's a possibility. No.
I mean,
We need
that's
more.
too open a question. Too much more information needs to come in before I can answer that. So it's a no.
Short and thick does the trick.
Short and thick does the trick. Boyd, last comments. Where can we find you?
Mate, you can find me at Buds83 on the Twitter, at Aussie Suns Fans on the Instagrams. You can find me at Fucko on a mystery platform, which is not Blue Sky. That's where you can find me.
A question, though, before we
Yes,
do
mate.
roll on tonight. Which one of the 14 different sign-ins for YouTube do we find you on?
Oh, shit. So I think I've got about 3 accounts that my kids use. The missus uses a different account as well. So I've got about 4 or 5. And I don't check. See, here's the thing. I don't check which accouts logged into that device when I fucking go onto YouTube to do shit. So I just have to
This week alone, you've confused Suns Jam and Fanning the Flames with your comments. Number one, you confused Lizzie by starting an entire revolution in the Suns Jam chat about Lizzie being pregnant, and then you messed up.
That was a good
And then
one.
you messed up Fanning the Flames because they believed that they had female fans. So,
Yes. Fuck. This is great. I love this. Yeah. I might
Trolling at its
create a
best.
couple
Nate, last comments. Where can we find you?
At Nicky's Falcon on X and IG. You can't find me at the moment on Facebook. I'm one of these lucky people that got hacked. Got it recovered, but still can't get in. Thank you very much, Mr. Someone in Hanoi with a VPN, I imagine.
So I sent $100 to a fucking hacker.
You didn't send $100 to anyone, not even your wife.
You owe me $100, mate. That's what I'm saying. You can catch me next time you're in Brizzy.
I'll throw you $100 baht and we'll settle on that.
You'll take it. It's any money you'll take.
I'll take it.
No other comments except this time next week, I believe it is Australia Day. So
It is.
we might not be potting because I will be drunk as a mofo down at Boomerang's Aussie Bar. Got old Aussie friend of mine coming over. He's living in Europe now. So we're going to be hitting the pub and doing that thing. And then we roll straight into Chinese New Year here, which I couldn't give 2 shits about, but everyone here loves that shit and takes a week off. So beautiful. I'm going to play golf in Batam.
Lovely. Yeah, next week we may be Sunday night US time, or maybe even something completely different because it is Australia Day next week. But if you want to find us at Aussie Suns Fans on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, do all that sort of cool stuff that everyone asks you to do. I don't feel like any of you love us enough to hit enough likes.
You know what?
We do get 35 comments a week from 7 of Boyd's different
I know it's hard
different
work.
logins, which is great. But yeah, just do that sort of stuff to get some people out there that actually like us for once, because
Fucking
we have a bit of fun when everyone's in here.
How
Yes, Paul.
fucking desperate this fucker is to talk.
Hey, no, but can we? I do the Instagram, right? And I'm making all these videos, and I'm not fucking technologically fucking sound, right? I'm a spaz when it comes to this shit. I spend
for going
fucking
the
a long
extra mile
time.
with the definition.
I
Yeah,
spend
I
a
don't
long
think you
time
needed
doing
to
a
throw
really
in when it comes
simple
to the
fucking
shit.
thing. And I just want cunts to get on there and fucking like it and share it, mate. So I fucking feel good about it. So someone get on there and just fucking spam like my shit.
You heard it here first, folks. Get on there and spam like his shit. Because when Boyd's on Instagram, he's not there to fuck spiders.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.